Okay, this is another general question I get asked is what type of resistor to use with the LED. So in here in the CAD minibadge learning schematic editor, we have the two LEDs here, one of which is a through hole and one of which is an SMD. I forget which one's which. This one's SMD, so we'll look at this one. So this is a 1206. So we have that. If we pull up DigiKey up here, you can see that they have resources conversion calculators. Within they have calculations, and they have an LED series resistor calculator. So here, this will help you figure out what type of resistor to use in your circuit. Also gives you the equation here. So we have the voltage source minus the forward voltage of the LED divided by the forward current was R. So now let's pull up. I already did a little search on DigiKey. There's a few other sites that do it. DigiKey is this one that I've been more familiar with. So if you do 1206 LEDs, SMDs, you can see there's quite a few. And the ones that we want to look at is this current test and this voltage forward right here. Notice 3.2, 2, 2, 1.9, 2.1. Then you notice there's normally 20 milliamps. But there is a rarity here with 10 milliamps. So let's do first this 3.2 volt one with 20 milliamps. This is a green LED. So it uses quite a bit. So here, mini badges usually get 3.3 volts. This one has 3.2 and 20 milliamps. Put that in, a resistor value of 5 ohms is all that you need for that one. Right here. And then if we come down and let's do this 1.9 volt one. That looks on the pretty low side. It's still the 20 milliamps. It's 70 ohms. And then if you go to 65 ohms. And where's that one? Let's do this 2.1 volts at 10 milliamps. So 2.1 and then 10 gets you 120 ohm resistor. So that'd be the highest one of the set. Off of this first page, select through 3.3, so that uses it all, so that would show up as 0. 1.7. That one's actually pretty low. With the 20 milliamps, that equals 80. So you can see everything from 65 to 120 ohm resistor. All will work. The other thing to look at is if you wanted to use, do that 100. Let's do one of these 20 milliamp ones. You can get the data sheet here. And within the data sheet, you can see the wavelength, forward voltage, was current. So this one's very picky. You want to keep it probably in about 1.8 volts to 2. You'd be on the higher side as it's a very steep curve. This one doesn't have much of a option in it. And then luminescence at the lower side. It's pretty dim at 20. You can see that it's 40. Kind of keeps going a bit, but you don't want to do too much or you'll burn it out. So now that we have here this, so this one was 2 volts at 20, 65 ohm resistor. So if we pull up another one, we can come up here and go 65 ohm resistor at a 1206. Size, do a little search, be a chip resistor. Even though the searching is pretty good, it will still pull up a lot that's not right. So make sure that you do simplify. Is that we want a 1206 here. I like to exclude the market and only have in-stock ones. And we want a minimum of 65 ohms. Let's go up to 100 ohms as an option. So here we only have a few options. Let's change out the so for 1206 we have 75 and 100 ohm. So we probably want to use a 75 ohm one. So that's the closest that we have to our value. Should be a little bit more. Let's get back to our search. Probably too specific here. So if we come over our package case, we have 1206. Here's, and then $65 to 100 ohms. That looks better. 514 options. And then we can search by price. Cheapest ones, 175 are pretty cheap, and 68. It's probably going to be our cheapest one that's close to our 65 value as most common. So I'd probably choose a 68 ohm resistor here as a value. And then we can come back to our schematic. Here we go in. This is going to be we can copy over the data points as we want. But we can go as a value 68 ohm resistor and update that. And then you can repeat it and do the same thing for the through-hole LED as well. That's just going in and searching for a through-hole LED instead of through the SMD type. Throw it in your calculator, get a rough value, and then go search for the closest resistor within that value. And then you can choose that. I also like to, when you have them, you can add them to a list. You sign in, create a list to match your mini badge, and there you go. You can now add values to the resistors with your LEDs and annotate it within your schematic and link it up and be ready to order parts. That's one more step, and hopefully that gives you more understanding of how to figure out the resistor for the LED that you choose and the color. Thank you.